Good evening. Shabbat Shalom. Yes. We always need books. We always need books unless I tell you we don't need books, which is very rare. We always have the screen because we have the screen for those people who are at home who don't have books that they can see. So there will always be on the screen and the books unless we don't have the books, like Classical Reform Shabbat. We don't have the books for Classical Reform Shabbat, so it's only on the screen. But generally speaking, we have the screen and the books. So welcome, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Nice to see all of you spread around the sanctuary, requiring me to continually have to move my attention, which is good. It is Friday the 13th, which in America is just another day, a movie. But in Judaism, 13 is a very lucky number, and obviously Friday being Shabbat, although it's not really Friday, it's Erev Shabbat, but Friday it is. So we'll start, as we always do, with going around the room for birthdays, celebrations, good things that happened between last Shabbat and this Shabbat. Barbara? Ah, wonderful. With, believe it or not, Vivaldi's Winter from Four Seasons. Cool. Excellent. What a combination. Yes? My band was voted the best band in Ocala. What kind of music do you play? You need to let me or my wife know when your band is playing so that we can come see you. We like to support musicians. You know, I don't know if you know Heather. She's not here tonight, but she also is a singer and plays downtown quite a bit. So I like to support local people. Yes?
Hi, I'm Spencer. My brother Evan completed his first year in his occupational therapy doctorate program.
He got his white coat. Mazel tov. Yes, sir.
Start off by saying I was at the concert. It was fabulous. Danny got his driver's license.
Is that something we're celebrating? Yes, next Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Please come and support Ari as he will read from the chant from the Torah and read Haftarah and also deliver a speech. Danica, you had your hand up? Yes, Carly is home. She came home last Saturday. She would have been here last Friday, but she missed the bus. Evan. This is not an AA meeting. I mean, it would be okay if it was, but...
My younger brother got into a master's program of aerospace engineering.
Wow. It's too bad your sons are not smart at all. Fantastic. What about your other brother? Did he do anything special that we want to celebrate too? No. All right, fair enough. Yes. There's no volume on live stream. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. Who's in the booth? Is that Herb up there? Herb? Mr. Katz? The Wizard? Psh. There's no sound on the live stream? Julie says there's no sound. Tell her to raise her volume. Julie, raise your volume. Anybody else have anything you want to celebrate? Wonderful. Well, we will begin our service with Hashkivenu, being sung by Alana Arian.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shoreinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shoreinu l'chaim l'chaim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha v'taknenu be'etza tova milfanecha v'hoshienu leman shemecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shoreinu l'chaim l'chaim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha v'taknenu be'etza tova milfanecha v'hoshienu leman shemecha
So, you know, we always say that the Lord works in mysterious ways. We call that beshert. I saw when I got up this morning and looked at Facebook, first thing it was after I woke up, a picture of Alana Arian and Noah Aronson, who was just here a few weeks ago together. They're both in Chicago, both working at different congregations in Chicago, and they happened to be flying together on the plane from New York. So, had no idea that was going to happen, but I chose the song way before that. So, I'd like to now invite Rebecca and Isis Erdvig up to light our Shabbos candles on the screen or on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the
light of Shabbat.
So next weekend, of course, is Ari Colin's bar mitzvah. And then we have another bar mitzvah, Jaden. It's going to be coming up in a year and a half or so. And then Isis is the next one in about 2.5 years, which will come really, really fast. So we continue on page 6. I said Jaden. I said Ari, then Jaden, then Isis. We're just saying that you're the next bar mitzvah next weekend. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured. A beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to live to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Let's read together. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. We continue with the singing of Dodi Lee on page 11.
Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim. Mizot olam min hamidbar, mizot olam mikuteret mor levona, Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim. Libavtini achoti kola, libavtini kola, libavtini achoti kola, libavtini kola. Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim. Uri tzafon uvoi teman. Uri tzafon uvoi teman. Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroel b'shoshanim.
We continue on page 22. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov leodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha ve'umanatecha balelot. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. We continue singing Shalom Aleichem, page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hashalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zetchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Please turn in your Siddur to page 26 and rise for Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yamad divrei charutei, v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'imeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'ol me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei kudesha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma, v'meru amen. Page 28, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue on page 30 with Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, v'tvuna mishanei itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, B'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tziva'ot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 32, we continue with the singing of Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavata, Amcha ahavata, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu, uvkumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu, v'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla, ve'ahavata al tasir, mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael.
Please rise for the Shema, page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with the chanting of Ve'ahavta on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uktavtam amezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. We continue page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. We continue with Micha Mocha, page 40.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Mika mocha nedar b'kodesh. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Mika mocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, Nora tehilot, O Sefele. Nora tehilot, Nora tehilot, O Sefele. Malchutcha ra'u v'anecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch, le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch, le'olam va'ed.
We continue on page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue once more singing Yismechu on page 44.
Friends, it's been a little while since we've sung this Yismechu by Tracy Friend. It's a very easy melody, the chorus. Please feel free to join in at any time. Yalalala Yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Yalalala Yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Omekadshei shevi, kulam yisbe'u v'yitangu mituvecha. Yalalala yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Yalalala yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. V'hashvi ratzita bo, v'kidashto emdat yamim oto karata. Yalalala yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Yalalala yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Zecher l'ma'aseh v'reshit, Zecher l'ma'aseh v'reshit, v'reshit. Yalalala yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Yalalala yismechu v'malachotcha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg. Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg.
So you guys don't get to see all of the things that are happening between me and my wife that Rachel is aware of. And I turned back to Rachel and I said, I always move to the music. Why is it all of a sudden funny to botcha now? And she says, well, she thought you were mad when they started the new melody. I was like, no, I was dancing to it. So for the last verse, I just stood there like completely, and that just felt really awkward and weird. If I'm going to it, that's a good thing, you know? Flow with the music. Make fun of me, I don't care. It's fine, I can take it. I'm a big boy. We continue on page 46. Please rise for the Amidah. Adonai, Sefaitai Tiftach, Ufi Agite Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shmo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. So mech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We continue on page 55. Let's try something different tonight. Thank you, Joe. He said, what? Let's read it responsively by paragraph. And if you don't know what the paragraphs are, disturb us is first. Then you guys come in with shock. Then I go to wake. Then y'all go to make. And then I come back with disturb. We're on the same page? Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied. Dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. And just to make sure that you all know that I don't think that you don't know what paragraphs are, the reason why I explained is because only the first one is a paragraph. The rest of them are single lines, which is why I said that way. Every one below the first one is single period, single sentences. That's the reason why I explained. Didn't want you to get confused because one sentence does not make a paragraph. No, it cannot. I was always taught that you had to have at least 3 sentences to make a paragraph. So the Constitution is a bazillion paragraphs. We're going to continue before I get myself in more trouble on page 56. Read with me at the top in English. Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer and love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato l'tzion. Page 60, we continue with the singing of Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Israel, bechol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, Amvarech et amo Yisrael, Bashalom.
Page 62. Oseh shalom b'mroma v'uya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru, amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us all, for all Israel and all who inhabit the earth, as we say together, amen. Page 62 also.
Elohai nismor neshane mera usvatai mine ber mirma. Min kalelai nafshi tido, min nafshi ke afala koti Eloi.
So that is the choir for my old congregation in Knoxville. And the guy that sang the Yehiyu at the very end is this very tall African-American guy named Brayon. And when he came to audition for the choir, because they actually require audition for the first night, he sang Old Man River. That was his audition song. He took 2 notes and it was like, you're hired. We turn in our prayer books now to a silent meditation. So take a few moments for your own silent thoughts and prayers. If you want to turn in your prayer books now to page 253, we come to the Mishaberach. If there is a name of someone that you would like to add to our prayers of healing beyond the ones that we already have on the screen, please raise your hand. Mishaberach.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha avotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu, mekor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
This week's Parsha, Parshat Vayishlach, begins with Jacob sending messengers. Vayishlach, he sent. He sent these messengers ahead of his family to greet his brother Esau and inform Esau that Jacob was coming with his family and all of his possessions that he had acquired while working for Laban. The messengers returned to Jacob, informing him that Esau is coming with 400 of his men to meet him. Now remember, the last time they saw each other, Jacob stole Esau's birthright, and he ran away. Jacob's next move is often criticized as it was an attempt to minimize the losses he assumes are coming when Esau attacks him. He separates his groups into two and sends one ahead, assuming that if they get attacked first, the second half will be okay. The next sequence of events presents to us one of the most well-known episodes of Genesis, perhaps of the entire Bible. Jacob spends the evening wrestling with an unknown force. Sure, the assumption here is that this was an angel of God. However, the Hebrew presents two different options. In verse 25, the Hebrew is ish, translated as man. Conversely, in the same story, in verses 29 and 31, the Hebrew is Elohim, translated as divine beings. It is this encounter which gives Jacob his new name, Israel, and leaves him with a permanent physical disability. His hip socket is wrenched at his thigh muscle, which, by the way, is the reason why Jewish people don't eat the thigh, the hip socket of animals, is because of that. In chapter 33, Jacob and Esau are finally reunited. They embrace each other, as one would expect from two loving brothers. After a brief meeting in which both Jacob and Esau flex some serious muscle, one of the brothers says, "Here, take all this." And the other brother says, "No, I'm good, take all this." The other brother says, "No, I'm good, take all this." Their competitiveness reappears. But Esau decides to turn back to his home, expecting that Jacob's going to follow him. But lo and behold, Jacob goes off a totally different direction to Shechem in the land of Canaan. We don't really understand how Esau responds to Jacob running away again. It is the next event in chapter 34 of Genesis that I'd like to spend a little bit of time discussing. Chapter 34 of Genesis is the only time in the entire Bible where we hear a story regarding Dinah, Jacob's only daughter from Leah. She's mentioned a couple other places by name with regards to the generations, but chapter 34 gives us her only story. And unfortunately, it's not a very good story. The commentary on the first two lines of chapter 34 is fascinating and infuriating at the same time. Chapter 34, verse 1. Vatetze Dinah bat Leah asher yalda leYaakov lirot bivnot haaretz. Translated as, now Dinah, the daughter whom Leah had borne to Jacob, went out to visit the daughters of the land. This phrase, went out, is a subtle criticism of Dinah. According to the Eitz Chaim commentary, the conservative movement's main Torah commentary, girls of marriageable age normally would not leave a rural encampment to venture alone into an alien city. Some commentators from medieval times to current times have interpreted this line to imply that Dinah was committing some form of coquettish or promiscuous behavior. It is almost as if these commentators are explaining that her behavior justifies what happened to her. This does not sit well with me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one here that feels that way, especially if you've ever watched Law & Order SVU. I'm sure Mariska Hargitay would love this interpretation. The second line, chapter 34, verse 2. Vayar ota Shechem ben Hamor hachivi nasi haaretz, vayikach ota, vayishkav ota, vaye'aneha. Shechem, son of Hamor the Hivite, chief of the country, saw her and took her and lay with her by force. This is where the story gets bad. The story has had many names throughout history. The rape of Dinah, the ravaging of Dinah, etc. No one refers to this commentary story as the courting of Dinah, or the dating of Dinah, or the marrying of Dinah. Because clearly what was done to Dinah was not okay. According to the Eitz Chaim commentary, though, this type of behavior was not uncommon during biblical times. The Eitz Chaim commentary teaches us, quote, incidents like the rape of Dinah were probably not uncommon, yet Jacob's family seems unprepared for such an event and does not know how to react. Dinah, an only daughter raised in a family of men, was seeking the company of other young women. Although some commentators blame her for leaving the security of her home to, quote, consort with strangers, the modern reader will likely reject this effort to blame the victim and minimize the responsibility of the assailant. Characteristically, the narrative describes the actions of men, but never tells us what Dinah thought, nor how she felt about what happened. End quote. Upon discovering what happened to their only sister, Dinah's brothers, who, by the way, are referred to as Jacob's sons throughout this entire portion, I'm calling them Dinah's brothers, but in the Bible it says Jacob's sons. Dinah's brothers become very angry and went to Hamor to inquire about his son, Shechem. Hey, where is this guy that took advantage of our sister? The Bible tells us that Jacob hears about what happened, but because his sons are out in the field, he decides to keep quiet. But his sons decide to take it on themselves to react. Hamor offers to do whatever is necessary so that Shechem can marry Dinah. By the way, in the Bible, when a woman is, quote, lakach, taken by a man, that is marriage in a physical sense. Okay? So technically, because she was already taken by him, they're married. Shechem wants to marry Dinah. So Hamor, his father, says, we'll do whatever. The brothers reply, quote, we cannot do this thing, to give our sister to a man who is uncircumcised, for that is a disgrace among us. Only on this condition will we agree with you, that you will become like us in that every male among you is circumcised. End quote. The Bible continues. After 3 days, with the assumption that after 3 days all of them have been circumcised and are lying in pain. Although we know what happened to Abraham the day after he was circumcised. He jumped up to help the strangers, the angels. But after 3 days, when all of the men in the town should have been circumcised, Dinah's brothers took their sword and slew all of the men in the town, slewing Shechem and Hamor last. They seized all of the wealth of the town of Shechem and Hamor. In Genesis chapter 34, verse 30, the next to last verse in this chapter, quote, Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have brought trouble on me, making me odious among the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My men are few in number, so that if they unite against me and attack me, I and my house will be destroyed. End quote. Verse 31 of chapter 34, the last verse of the chapter, concludes the Dinah's story with her brother's response to their father. Quote, but they answered, should our sister be treated like a whore? Pardon me. I'm quoting the Bible. The ending of this chapter leaves a lot of questions. Why is this story the only one we are given to study Dinah? Why is she not mentioned again? Why does Jacob not avenge his daughter himself? And why does he chide his sons for avenging their sister? These are just a few of the questions, and there are plenty more. The Eitz Chaim commentary tells us, quote, the two brothers have the last word. The women of the Israelites are not to be dishonored. That is an answer, but one that does not really seem to answer the right questions. As Jews, we are commanded to ask questions and seek answers. Can it be possible that there are questions with no answers? Will there ever come a time in which we have all of the answers? In our struggling to decipher the true meanings in our sacred texts, we are continuing the conversation that has been going on for thousands of years, this Jewish conversation between God and humankind. Temple Beth Shalom has celebrated a number of milestones in our history. With our commitment to our youth, as our religious school continues to grow and grow, we are determining that our future success depends on these youth. After all, these young members of our community will ultimately be the ones that help lead us in the future. And what a bright future that seems to be. My dear friends, we have a lot of love in this congregation. When we discuss important matters that pertain to the future of Temple Beth Shalom, i.e., whether a rabbi continues a new contract or not, it is obvious of the love we have for each other and our community. In our Parsha this week, we see Jacob and Esau embrace as we would expect brothers to. The disagreements they had in the past are forgotten, and what remains is the love of two brothers for each other. When we consider the intentions we all have in our decision-making, it is simple to recognize that all of us have one particularly important thing in common. Our decisions are based in a great love for Temple Beth Shalom and this community. I also hope that the children of Jacob and the children of Esau will be able to embrace again soon, Be'ezrat Hashem, as we say, with God's help, as they did so many years ago. My prayer for this evening is that we continue to look to each other for love and support, recognizing the amazing strides we have taken together and will continue to take together as a community. May each of us continue to be blessed by God's love, and may that love be a constant reminder of who we are and who we want to be. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. We will now turn back into our Siddur to page 282, and I will invite the children up to open our ark doors. Please rise. Come on up, Ari. You're not bar mitzvah yet. Next week, you got to do this 2 more times. This week and next week. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu koreim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu, Yihye Adonai echad, Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad. Please be seated. As we have since October 7th, 2023, we remember those hostages on the list above the screen. Hirsch Goldberg, Poland, Eden Yerushalmi, Ori Daninu, Alex Lubnov, Carmel Gott, Alma Sarusi, Ravid Katz, Oren Golden, Maya Gorin, Kirill Brodsky, Tomer Yaakov Ahimas, Alex Danzig, Yagev Buchstav, Chaim Peri, Yoram Metzger, Nadal Popplewell, Avraham Munder, Aryeh Zalmanovich, Ofra Kedar, Ronan Engel, Ron Sherman, Nick Beiser, Inbar Himan, Sahar Baruch, Yotam Chaim, Samer Talalka, Alon Shamriz, Yossi Sharabi, Itai Svirsky, Elaz Katsir, Amiram Cooper, and Omer Nutra. This Shabbat, our congregation commemorates the death anniversaries, the art sites of Jenny Heyman, mother of Melissa Yarger, Michael Aptak, brother of Dana Olstein, Sonia Grossman, mother of Nathan Grossman, S. Stanley Molliver, husband of Elka Molliver, Jeffrey Askenaz, husband of Francine Askenaz, Paul Deutsch, father of Andrea Caulfield, William Miller, friend of Wayne and Raylyn O'Mell, Frida Rutkowski, grandmother of Michael Barron, Cookie Nusinov, wife of Michael, Miriam Mickey Lishner, aunt of Jay Christman. If there is a name that you'd like to add for our memories this evening, please raise your hand. Please rise as we join together for the reading of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294, excuse me. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bi'alma Divrach Yirutei v'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon, U'v'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala v'zman Kariv Imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivorach Le'olam U'lomei Almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh, v'yitalal shmeid kudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing. As we say together once again, amen. Please be seated. And now I'd like to invite up our president for some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Next week, services begin at 7 o'clock on Friday, December 20th, and the 21st is Ari Colin's Bar Mitzvah that begins at 10:30 a.m. Please show up. Wednesday, December 25th, and Thursday, December 26th, we are doing a Hanukkah candle lighting on the patio at 6:30 p.m. And Friday is our Hanukkah service and celebration. Please join us. We have a sign-up sheet in the lobby. At 6:30, pardon me. We have a sign-up sheet in the lobby for food that is needed. Please sign up. Yeah, sign up and bring something. That would be good. UCC tomorrow from 9 to 2 is having a cookie sale. The cookies are $7 a pound. Please come and support them. The Oneg Shabbat is sponsored by Sisterhood in the Congregation and Bima Flowers by Sisterhood.
And I want to say once again, thank you to Kay Flyshaker for donating the menorah that we use for Hanukkah every year. It goes away into the closet and then comes back out for Hanukkah every year. But not only does she do it, she also comes back and cleans it after Hanukkah when all the wax is all over it. So our closing song, first, before we do the closing song, I want to say thank you to Dale and Raul for your musical help this evening, for your spirituality that you included in the service, that you brought to the service. And our closing song is a song that we've heard before, but we can't get enough of it. And until all the hostages come home, we will continue to sing it.
Wix gives you the freedom to tell your story with a professional website that reflects who you are and what you have to offer. Customize every element of your website to meet your needs and achieve your goals. Create a unique visual experience that enhances your product and amplifies your message. Expand your website with content that pushes your business forward. Share content that matters to your audience. And present it the way you envision it, from the biggest ideas to the smallest details. Your website, your voice, your platform.
There is hope. Share your thoughts.
Talk to us.
You are not alone.
I'm coming home, coming home. Tell the world I'm coming. And the blood will dry underneath my nails, and the wind will rise up to fill my sails. See, you can't doubt and you can hate, but I know no matter what it takes, I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they're fighting for my sake. I'm coming home, coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
So far away from where I belong, but it's always darkest before the dawn. And you can't doubt, and you can't hate, but I know no matter what it takes, I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits. They are fighting for my sakes. I'm coming home, coming home. Tell the world I'm coming. I'm coming home, coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they're fighting for my sake. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
Naomi Berman will lead us in Motzi and Kiddush in the Oneg. Shabbat Shalom.